Have you heard about the gentle saint? Most saints possess gentleness as a virtue, but there is one who seemed to excel all the others. That is why Louis Stackpole Kenny, an author of the 19th and 20th century, wrote a book about him titled The Gentle Saint. Friends, our saint for today is Saint Francis de Sales. A Frenchman who was born on August 21, 1567 in the castle of Sales to a noble family in Thorens, Savoie, France. His family expected nothing from him, as he was born 2 months premature. But God destined him to be a priest, a bishop, and finally a great saint. Francis's father sent him to the best school to prepare him to become a lawyer. So, even at a young age, he enjoyed a privileged education under the Capuchin Fathers. In 1578, he went to study at the Jesuits' College de Clermont and took up rhetorics and humanities. Being a nobleman, he was accompanied by a servant and a tutor. To please his father, he also took lessons in horse riding, dancing, and fencing. He was handsome, intelligent, tall, with blue-gray eyes, reserved and quiet. In 1586, after attending a theological discussion on predestination, he began to doubt about his eternal salvation. This made him sick, as he feared damnation in hell. After a few months, he visited a certain church and prayed to the Black Madonna and consecrated himself to her. He decided to dedicate his life to God and made the vow of chastity. Soon, his doubts vanished and he continued his studies. From College de Clermont, he enrolled at the University of Padua and studied law and theology. Meanwhile, Francis's father tried to find him a prestigious position in Savoie and a bride in the person of a beautiful and noble heiress. But Francis opposed his father's wishes and decided to become a priest. He shaved his lovely hair, and when his father consented, Francis ceded to his brother the right of succession to his father's position as Lord of Sales. He was ordained in 1593. As priest, he preached at the Cathedral of Annecy, in parish churches, and before Catholic confraternities. His sermons were simple and short. He avoided controversy and people loved to listen to his deep and rich voice. He was recommended at age 27 to be named Grand Penitentiary of the diocese, one to whom people go to make confession. In 1594, Father Francis was sent to Chambly, where most people have become Calvinists, but he met many oppositions and had little success. In 1599, he was appointed coadjutor bishop of Geneva. In 1602, he was sent to Henry IV of France to negotiate the restoration of Catholic worship in Gex, and he was successful. In 1602, the Bishop of Geneva died, and he was consecrated Bishop of Geneva. However, he resided in Annecy because Geneva was then still controlled by the Calvinists. Due to his guidance, his diocese became famous throughout Europe as a model for efficiency in organization, devoted clergy, and well-instructed laity. He worked closely with the Capuchins that they made him an associate member of the order, the highest honor given to a non-member. He was loved for his patience, kindness, and mildness. Francis was also an author of many books, most famous of which is Introduction to the Devout Life. He was also co-founder with Saint Jane Frances de Chantal of the Order of Visitation of Holy Mary. In December 1622, he was obliged to travel to Lyons with the Duke of Savoy. While there, he suffered a stroke and died on December 28. He was buried in the Church of the Visitation Monastery in Annecy. He was beatified in 1616 and was canonized 4 years later. He was declared Doctor of the Church by Pope Pious IX in 1877. In 1923, Pope Pius XI proclaimed him patron of writers and journalists. He is named the Gentle Saint due to his kindness, patience, gentleness, and charity, characteristics not usually inherent to a guy who is rich, handsome, intelligent, and a member of the nobility. Humility, gentleness, charity, patience, fortitude, and meekness are only some of the virtues that Saint Francis de Sales is known for. Saint Francis de Sales, despite your prestigious position in life, you remained humble and kind. Pray for us that we may learn to imitate your virtues.